Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, and Xochitl Gomez. While Doctor Strange is attending a wedding, him and Wong happen upon a girl named America Chavez. She states that she's capable of traveling between universes and is being hunted by a beast that wants that power. And as it turns out, that beast is actually Wanda Maximoff, who's operating under a disguise. Wanda wants to harbor America's powers so that she can join her long-lost children in another universe. However, if she succeeds, other universes could suffer extinction. So Doctor Strange has to help America stop her. And we have our movie. So Doctor Strange 2 features a very different flavor in terms of Marvel movies that I really enjoyed. Between extreme violence, dark themes, horror elements, and a phenomenal antagonist in Wanda, this movie offers a very entertaining, positive experience. And admittedly, those particular items cater to my taste as a movie-going fan, and I acknowledge that that vein might not be for everybody. But having said that, you could say the same thing for just about every movie in existence. But having said that, this movie offers very wide appeal in a variety of ways. Quick pacing keeps the movie from being too long, succinct dialogue and writing keep the conversations flowing at an appropriate cadence, and the special effects are absolutely stunning. And included in those assets is the film's ability to utilize subtlety, especially when it's conveying the most important ideas, messages, and themes, especially when it comes to Wanda's side of the story. In fact, it's so much so, it's really hard not to side with Wanda at various points throughout the film. But where this movie ultimately falters is its inability to really get you attached to these characters to the point where it feels like it's kind of meandering at some plot points. It takes a lot of shallow jabs at trying to give great character exposition, but ultimately falls flat in that respect. But when you combine all those things together, you get a very good movie-going experience that can be summed up in 5 words. Dark, mature, succinct, subtle, and shallow. What makes Doctor Strange 2 the most distinct in Marvel's line of films is its ability to be dark. Director Sam Raimi doesn't shy away from exposing us to the raw, unfiltered, and really dark ideas and actions of each of the characters on screen. Necks breaking, bodies impaling, brains imploding, merciless rage, and high-octane fear are all featured throughout the film with extreme effect. And that extreme effect that really elevates the experience is this idea for the camera to just sort of fixate on these characters as they're on either the sending or receiving end of each of these ideas. Not only do you get to see everything unravel in a really unfiltered form, but you get to bask in the aftermath, which really creates a very shocking effect to the point where you'll likely wince in uncomfortability or disbelief at what you just experienced, which accurately reinforces the darker tones of the film. To bolster the darker tones of the film, Doctor Strange 2 doesn't shy away from adding maturity to its experience. And some of this maturity is in the grotesque nature of the violence that's portrayed on screen, but a lot of it is also conveyed in the ideas and messages of the film. The perspectives from each Doctor Strange, Wanda, and America Chavez are all very relatable and also very easy to root for. It'll likely have you at minimum understanding and at maximum empathizing with each of them. And it creates a really interesting conundrum as you're watching the movie because you want all of them to walk away from the situation happy. And that in and of itself makes Wanda one of the most compelling villains I've seen in films in a really long time. Her conviction and cause is justified in a lot of respects, and it's going to likely resonate with a lot of audience members who are going and seeing this movie. And for me, it just elevated the conflict that much more because you can totally understand where she's coming from. But on the other hand, our heroes, they gotta do what they gotta do as well, so it makes for a really interesting conversation. And despite having more mature themes and an elevated conflict, Doctor Strange 2 does a phenomenal job at being succinct. In the explanation of important concepts, plot points, and character exposition, the movie wastes very little time in getting its meanings across. And moreover, each of them are very easy to follow, which won't have you being distracted or trying to figure out what exactly is happening not only in that moment, but also in the moments to come. As soon as a new idea or character exposition is shown to us on screen, you'll have more context around it within the next 10 minutes, which won't leave you in the dark for too long. And additionally, a lot of the conversations between characters feel the very same way, as they really don't beat around the bush for too long. Most conversations are meaningful, have a clear purpose, and keep them from being filler at all pretty much throughout the runtime. And with each conversation carrying a degree of importance or meaning, each of them still finds a way to exercise subtlety in their messaging. With the movie exposing us to mature themes and ideas along the way, it doesn't forget to pose some interesting questions. And these questions are often proposed in the midst of dialogue that are eyebrow-raising and keep from being too heavy-handed. Almost every strong point posed in the dialogue was made in a single sentence and delivered in a way that was surprisingly calm. You're able to fully realize each point that the character's making, which in turn enhances your understanding of them. And now, despite the movie's many strengths, one of the ways in which it falters is its inability to really get you to be attached to any of the characters. There are many attempts at character exposition throughout the film, but a lot of them feel like jabs that just aren't very convincing. And these attempts are largely made at pit stops throughout the film, but none of them really felt too heavy-weighted. Don't get me wrong, they were a lot of fun, but just none of them really transcended being past typical or compelling. The movie's character exposition just wasn't deep enough, it just wasn't effective enough for me to truly and deeply care about really any of the characters, which was a bummer, and even caused the movie to kind of feel like it was meandering at some points. But friends, in the end, I'm gonna have to give Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness an 8 out of 10. It was so great, I'd recommend seeing it twice in theaters. Friends, have you seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? What did you think of it? You know where the comment section is. Let me know. Thanks so much for watching another Bankrupt Hippo movie review. If you like this, click right here if you'd like to see more. I've been Bryson. Until next time, have a great day.